Hello, everybody. It is Emilia and Sherri coming to you live for the Sacred Partnership Summit. I'm so excited today because I have Sherri Nickols here, and we're going to talk about something that is so important to creating that open heart and open receptive space for sacred union, and that is forgiveness. Sherri is an award-winning author. She's an international teacher and speaker, transformational coach, and healer. She's trained in sound healing. She's also a mind-body energy expert. She's so passionate about helping women move forward after betrayal and developing strength, courage, and confidence so that you can create and co-create your dream relationship and many other things, right? One of the things we're talking here. Through her work as a coach and teacher over the past 15 years, Sherri has taught thousands of women around the world how to find inner peace, trust, and learn how to open their hearts to create healthy, loving relationships, most significantly with ourselves. And I see, Sherri, you have been on a lot of different shows. You have a book called Sexy and Sparkling After 40, which is amazing. So welcome. I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for being here, Sherri.
Thank you for having me, Emilia. It's wonderful to be here, and I really am honored and privileged to be a part of your summit.
Thank you so much. I want to just share with the audience that you and I had a connection on a personal level because I was seeking help around some of the things I was moving through with forgiveness, as we all do. And before we got on, we were talking about how it's like a heart hygiene type thing. So can you talk a little bit about that? You had an amazing analogy and I love it. I think it's so awesome for everyone to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I first just want to take a step back and explain how I got to the place where I became really interested and curious about forgiveness. And that has to do with my relationship, my marriage crumbling, finding out 6 days before I was going in for in vitro. I had been trying to get pregnant for 3 years and finally at a point for in vitro, and finding out that my husband at that time was leading a double life. And
I'm
just
so sorry.
Yeah, just devastated. I don't know, those of you listening or you, Emilia, if you've ever been in a place where you've been so thoroughly betrayed by someone that you love and that you thought you could trust. And it literally devastated me. And so there was a point, where I looked in the mirror and I just thought, wow, I had been crying my eyes out, buckets, going through just boxes of Kleenex, and got up one evening. It was raining out, looked in the mirror, did not like what I saw in the mirror, because beyond the puffiness of my eyes and my face, I just didn't even recognize myself anymore. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, or
I did, and mine had to do like when I contacted you with my childhood. I was moving. I had that sense of betrayal from my family, from my mom and dad. I experienced that heartbreak at a very young age, that kind of betrayal. And yeah, absolutely.
And it really pulls the rug out from underneath you.
Yes.
And makes you question everything. And
Yes.
betrayal is one of the hardest things to get through. And so what I wanted was to have deep, close relationships, like your summit indicates, sacred partner. And how do you create that when you're so broken? And you just, you don't know how to move through it. I didn't know how to move through it, but I saw myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? I'm making a decision. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I am not staying here in this pity party. I am moving forward. And at the same time that I made that decision, of course, I'm terrified because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if I can't move through it? What if I don't know how to do this? What if I'm not enough? That's the bottom line belief that so many of us have. Why was I treated this way? Well, maybe it's because I'm flawed. I don't deserve anything worthy of anything better. And what if I find that out? And is that even worse? But I just knew, there was something in me that said, you must move through this. And so I studied, I worked with, the top people, found out really what it takes to get to the other side, and then wrote a book, and then really it became my calling to help people move through heartbreak and to get to the other side. So that's where I am today, and just really so grateful for the opportunity to work with so many people, for the opportunity to be here right now with you, Emilia, to be sharing this, what I discovered, what helped me, in hopes that it will help all of you. And so one of the things that you had talked about, Emilia, when you first introduced me, was this analogy of cleansing the heart. And so one of the things that I discovered in my journey, and obviously that I had to face what happened, and face the betrayal, and do that deep forgiveness work. Because what my definition of forgiveness is it's a shift in your it's a shift in your perspective that really brings forward emotional freedom. And when you feel betrayed and broken, you have all sorts of, at least I did, and my clients do, and every woman I talk to that's experienced this has so many toxic thoughts that are running around in your head that are debilitating, that keep you stuck, right? And what happens when you don't forgive is that you're continuing to live in your circumstances over and over and over again, right? Just looking in the rearview mirror, looking in the past, and you get a stuckness to you. Your heart gets stuck.
Yes.
And so what forgiveness gives us the opportunity to do, and I just want to give this context before we go into the other, because sometimes people will say, well, how can I forgive? That was a horrible thing that this person did to me. And I just want to cling to my anger and hatred and hurt, because they don't deserve my forgiveness.
Right.
What we all want to understand is that forgiveness is never for the other person. It's never for the other person. It is for ourselves, because what forgiveness does is it gives you the opportunity to, I'm going to call it alchemize. It gives you the
Yes, I love that word.
Yes, I do too. To alchemize the resentment, the hurt, the shock, the humiliation, the just the deep wounds, so that you can rise above your circumstances, so that you can see with fresh eyes, so that you can hear with fresh ears, and so that your heart can not just have knowledge, but can have wisdom, because that's the way that we can move forward after we are so betrayed, and the bitterness. And what I found was that anger, it was a false sense of power, when
yes,
right?
Exactly. That's what I discovered too.
Right? When we are hurt so badly, we feel disempowered, we feel weak, we feel tormented, and we're searching for power. And it is just a way that our alter ego that makes us feel like we are empowered, because anger is the energy, right? So it's false. And so when we are able to move through it, when we alchemize it, what it does is it allows us to breathe, our heart to breathe and to open. But here's the thing, most of us can't do it on our own. Most of us can't do it on our own. So what's the alchemizer? What I discovered the alchemizer to be was God, was divine love, was the biggest love that's out there, not romantic love, not love that we normally experience on this planet, but divine love, that power that's breathing you, that's bigger than you, that's greater than you, that is pure love. That is what alchemizes everything and allows us to open our heart so that we can then create those relationships that are sacred, create that deep connection, create that bonding that we all desire. But it can't happen if our heart is closed off and constricted. And so that's what we want to do is we want to give ourselves that gift, because otherwise, Emilia, I don't know about you, but it affects your life. When you don't forgive and you live with a closed heart, it affects your health, stress and anxiety and uncertainty, and it torments you. It's just the word that came to me today when I was thinking about it was, it's like a flogging, right? You're flogging over and over again with the memory. And then, for me, it would flip from, oh my gosh, they did this to me. He did this to me. But then why didn't I said this, or I did that, or, it can flip. It may not be somebody else that needs your forgiveness. It might be yourself that needs forgiving of yourself. But forgiveness in general is going to bring you to a place of emotional freedom. And that's what we all want, right? That's what we all want. And that's going to get us out of staying stuck. And it's going to get us into the situations that we want to be in. Because when we're stuck, it's like, Emilia, have you ever, been watering and you've got a hose and it gets a kink in it?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens to the flow?
Yeah, can't go anywhere.
And so when we are holding on to resentment and all those nasty, toxic thoughts, it's not allowing the flow. And so we live a very stagnant, unfulfilled life.
Yes.
Very unfulfilled life. And so, that divine love wants to live through you.
Mm-hmm.
It has a bigger plan for you. And so when our hose is kinked, when our heart's kinked up, it can't get through. And it can't do what it wants to do to create the miracles for you, to create the love that you desire, to create the life that is fulfilling, that wants to move you forward. And so that's what I was talking about with Emilia earlier was, so how do we stay in that state, right? Because it's easy. We get busy, things happen to us. They could be little things. Somebody cuts you off on the freeway and you get into an anger moment, or somebody.
That's what I've done that. I'm so bad.
Yeah. And I mean, but it all takes you to a negative, ugly mode, right?
Yes.
And then that, if it doesn't get cleared out, it has an energetic residue to it that stays in your heart. And so we were talking how forgiveness isn't a one and done. Okay. It's layered. That's my experience. And that's my client's experience, and so don't beat yourself up if you've done some forgiveness work and you're in something rears its head again. Actually, if you can look at it with curiosity and opportunity, because it just means that you have grown to a new level that whatever's still lingering within you is not in alignment with. And it must be looked at and released and repatterned.
Yes. And I loved when you said, it somehow helps for me to think of it as it's nothing complicated, or even though we use the word alchemy and we talk about divine love and that can feel so nebulous, but like when you said it's a shift in perception that leads to a feeling of emotional freedom. Mm-hmm. That somehow I can digest that. Like I just got full body chills. Like I got the truth bumps, somehow that I think I could do. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we all want to be, because it's ultimately it's for you. Ultimately it's for you. Yeah. So what we were chatting about is that it's like, it's like brushing your teeth, forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Every day you eat, your teeth get dirty and you must brush them. It's not that you brush them once and you never have to brush your teeth again. You brush them every day. Some people floss after every meal to get every nook and cranny clean. And every day, as we were saying, something happens or comes up that could use your forgiveness, whether that be somebody else, a situation, yourself. Oh, I said that. I wish I hadn't have said that. They may seem like small little things, but they, as I said, they build up and they leave a residue, and it affects your openness. And so forgiveness is that cleanser, just like brushing your teeth after you eat. You want to forgive because that cleanses your heart and allows you to stay in an open place. and allow that flow of God's love to continue to flow through you, because it's when that happens that you get inspiration, fresh ideas, right? Think about have you ever seen a pond that's just stagnant? It's no running water and it's gunky, right? It's gunky and it's just bugs flying around it. I mean, it really is not a pretty sight. And that's what happens when we just let our toxic thoughts just float around without allowing that greater wisdom, that greater divine love to push it through. And so it also, and I think this is really important, it impacts your ability to make wise decisions when you're stuck. Do you find that, Emilia? Did you ever find that when you felt stuck?
Yes, and I found that because you're so you're so overcome with these thoughts over here, you can't like be open to, I call it the miracle receptacle, because I love creating miracles, but I say, that I know unforgiveness has clogged my miracle receptacle for sure, because you're just focused on not the miracles, not on receiving, not on creating, not on the divine love. You're focused on something else. So absolutely, I've had that experience for years of being stuck. Yeah, and I think I'm sure every woman listening to this, because this is just part of the human condition.
Yeah.
Such an important topic. So then you had a process that you were going to share with us about how to move through this. And I'm wondering if now is a good time for that.
It's a perfect time. Thank you. Yes, I would love to do this process with you. It is something that I developed as I was coaching my clients that just came through as far as a cleansing. And it is an opportunity for you, first of all, to experience this cleansing and to experience and allow divine love to come through, because, intellectually, conceptually, it's one thing, but to actually experience it is something else. So what I would love you all to do is to just get comfortable. And if you haven't already put your, digital devices on quiet zone or turn them off, I would invite you to do that, because this is an opportunity to really give yourself the gift.
Looking for mine so I can turn it off. But I left it in the other room so it doesn't ding. So
okay.
I'm free. No devices except for you.
Perfect. That is perfect. So what you want to do, first of all, is you want to write down who could use your forgiveness, and just make a little bit of a list there. And you want to also bring into mind that as you're writing down this list of people, that you may be on that list, that you may want to forgive yourself. I know when I was going through my marriage breaking up, I had a lot to forgive myself for, because I was beating myself up with how could I have done this? How could I have been so stupid? How could I, I'm a smart woman. How could I have let this happen? Taking on so much of the hatred for myself. And a lot of times we want to forgive ourselves as well in circumstances. So make your list. And
I just want to say, Sherri, sorry, for everyone listening, this is not just for me. Sherri's guiding us all through this. So if you are in a place where you can stop and do this, please join us so we can experience this forgiveness moving. And if you are not in a place where you can join us, then just listen and go ahead and maybe think about, maybe you're driving or who knows what you're doing. Think about what you might do in this exercise, and maybe come back to it later when you do have the opportunity to write down and really focus. So this is not just for me, this is for all of us to do with Sherri. So thank you, Sherri. I just wanted to say that just in case.
No, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, absolutely. So and this is something you can revisit as well. Yes. So first thing is making a list of who could use your forgiveness, who you feel may have wronged you, really said something to you, or just done something to you, and write those down. And then the second thing that you want to do is you want to look down at that list and choose one. Choose one. And how I find this always works best is just look down and see, is there one of the names that you, if you wrote down more than one name or situation, is it what's popping off the page at you? You know, sometimes it's like, pick me, you know, it's to it.
It's bouncing up and down.
Up and down. So you want to choose that. And then you want to ask yourself, what is it costing you? What is it costing you to stay in a place of unforgiveness? In other words, is it affecting your ability to concentrate or to focus as a mom? Are you showing up fully present? Are you able to concentrate or focus at work if you are an employee or an entrepreneur, or even in volunteer work, wherever you're wanting to bring your gifts? What is it costing you? Is your health suffering? Are you in such a state of turmoil and anxiety that it's really affecting your nervous system to the point where you can't sleep, where you are waking up in the middle of the night and it's tormenting you? And you know, what is it costing you? Is it costing you your happiness in life? Is it costing you your joy? Is it costing you your ability to live fully? And then once you really are able to connect with that, you want to just ask yourself, is there some sort of payoff that I'm getting from this? You know, as what am I getting from you know, so hanging on to this? You know, I was talking about that false sense of power that I was getting, hanging on to my hurt. So is there something that, you know, and you might say, well, that doesn't even make sense. What's the payoff? You know, if you're in a bad state. But the truth is, we're always getting something out of our behavior, whether it's really good or not. Maybe it's, you know, a lot of times it's not good, but it's something we're used to. So you want to just bring an awareness to it, bring an awareness to that. And then, so I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to think about that, because that's a deep, deep one to bring to the forefront of your mind. What am I getting by hanging on to this? It's, you know, that you think that it's somehow like proof, like, see what you did to me, and now my life is ruined. And so I'm going to live this ruined life so that you feel bad about it. I don't know. There's so many things that are not healthy ways of thinking, but that we all are human and we all have different reasons and different ways of getting to things. So no shame in recognition of whatever comes up for you. This is not a time to blame yourself or judge yourself or criticize yourself. Just want to be able to get to the truth, because the truth will move you forward, really. So now that you have looked at the person, the cost, and what the payout is for it, now you want to look at, who would you be without this story? Who would you be without the story? Would you be happier? Would you be joyful? Would you feel free? Who would you be? And how would you be showing up differently? So now I want to take you through a short visualization where you can bring this all together. So I invite you, if it's safe to do so, to close your eyes and to start taking in some nice, deep breaths. And as you take those breaths in, just imagine a gold, beautiful light flowing in from above, right down through the top of your head, down your throat, into your heart center, down into your body. And as you're breathing, allow the warmth of this beautiful golden light to fill every crook and crevice of your body, every single part of your body. Let this flow in and imagine it's like warm honey. Imagine it's like warm honey flowing in and bringing a comfort, a cocoon, feels safe, lovely, peaceful, to wrap yourself, the insides of your being, with this beautiful warmth. And now bring to mind this person that you want to focus on for the forgiveness. And with that, bring your story to mind with all the emotions that go with it: resentment, hurt, anger, sadness, depression, shock, humiliation, shame, whatever it is for you. Bring that into your mind. And now imagine that there is a container that you can put them all in. And so create a container for all of these emotions and notice what shape it is. As you put all the emotions in, bring everything into that container. Notice the shape of it. Maybe it's square, maybe it's triangular, maybe it's spherical, maybe it's a circle. Notice the shape. And now notice the color of it. It's the color of this container that is holding all these really challenging emotions that you've been dealing with in this situation. And what is the texture of this? Is it bumpy, lumpy, sharp, jagged, slimy, cold? What is the texture? Does it have a temperature? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it cool? Does it make a sound? Does it have a smell? And now you want to take that container that you have identified, and you want to notice what the weight is of it. Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? Is it medium? Noticing how much space it takes up in your body. And now imagine that you've identified this. You've put it all together in one place. Now imagine a beautiful, divine, loving light flowing down from above. A miraculous light that is full of God's love, that is full of divine love, that is full of a power that is greater than anything we have ever experienced on this planet with anyone or anything. And that is the power of love, divine love. And give it a color. Maybe it's white, maybe it's pink, And if you can't see it, that's okay too. Just imagine it flowing down, and like a spotlight shining on this container where all the emotions are, where the old story is. And imagine that beam of light, that waterfall of miraculous, sparkling love flowing down on top of this, around it, above it, below it. And now see that container cracking and breaking apart, and this beautiful love flowing in, making its way in, and see it dissipating. That container, see that container breaking up into small pieces as this beautiful stream of love is greater than the box of emotion. And it is making that box shrink. That box is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as this wave of love continues to pour on it and through it and around it and above it and below it. And all the energy of that love is soaking into those emotions and alchemizing it and really breaking it up into little pieces that are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. This force of good, this force of love, this force of light is having its way with that box, and that box is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's radiating through this box. It's radiating through every single particle of that container, of that box, until the box is no longer. Until the love is what is fully present. And now that space where that box was, we want to fill that up. We want to replace it with divine love, with happiness, with light, with laughter, with fun, with playfulness, with all the things that you would love to bring into your life. Start filling that space up, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe that looks like you're planting a beautiful garden. Maybe it looks like flowers. Maybe it looks like gemstones and diamonds and sapphires and rubies and emeralds, all sparkling. Whatever that is for you, fill it up. Fill it up, fill it up. And you may even want to imagine angelic hands really pouring into this added miracle growth, being added in until that space is filled up. You want to be planting new, nurturing emotions in that space, emotions of kindness and love and compassion, appreciation, acceptance and wisdom and understanding, whatever you want to bring in. Lots and lots of compassion for yourself, in general, for that other situation. And just imagine all these new nurturing emotions that you're planting are taking root. Imagine the roots of them flowing down, big, beautiful roots, earthy roots, really roots that have life to them, that are flowing down, they're just so full of vitality and rejuvenation and renewal and strength and courage and confidence. And they're flowing down your legs, flowing down into your feet, through your feet, into Mother Earth. From the core of your being, these roots are flowing down and planting on the very ground you stand on. Mixing again and alchemizing with the love of Mother Earth. And imagine that love now flowing back up. This root system is pulling then from the source of love, flowing back up through your legs, back up into your heart center, flowing up through the top of your head, flowing up into the heavens. And now it's recycling again, and that beautiful, miraculous love and compassion and light is flowing back down through your head. And it's this beautiful cycle of compassion and love and kindness that has completely alchemized this space in your mind and your body and your soul. And now notice how you are feeling, and give it a word. This is the optimal freedom for you, to live with this beautiful power of love and light, divine love, divine light, and divine wisdom within. This is your strength. And gently, gently coming back into this moment, gently giving yourself a hug, acknowledging your courage, your bravery, your strength to let go, to let divine love flow in. Be proud of yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Really allow that divine love to continue wrapping around you. And gently coming back into the space when you're ready, opening your eyes, and take a moment to write down anything that you'd like to remember, any insight, any aha, and the word that best describes how you are feeling in this moment. All right. Beautiful. Emilia, you look radiant.
I forgot we were here. I just felt like I was floating in my body. Like it was such an incredible experience. Thank you for this incredible visualization. I really felt it moving and like alchemizing, just like you said. It's just such a beautiful reminder how powerful we are, and what we can create with our intention and our attention and our imagination. So powerful. Thank you for that beautiful reminder, because that's just been a message throughout this whole summit, is about our power. And we've talked about this when you and I open, like the power to forgive is what brings us back to our personal power. And we need our personal power if we're going to be creating these fulfilling, sustainable, nourishing relationships with ourselves and with others. So this is how you get there, because this is what clogs it up. We went through it. Was just really, really amazing. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And you absolutely, I want to reiterate what you said, because it is so powerful. That power within, I call it your diamond power. And it is your connection to divine love and the divine power. And that is within you. And that is accessible to you 24/7. And when you connect with it, like you just did, what is a word that you would give the feeling that you have after that, Emilia?
I wrote brave, spacious, open, free, loved, alive.
Oh, I love it. And you look look at your eyes. You look.
I feel it.
You look amazing. You look, you're beautiful anyway, but you have this glow and your eyes are so bright and clear.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I just want to share, I was moving forgiveness for myself, for things that, I felt I let myself down or hadn't done things the way that I wanted. And it's just amazing to feel, when you said, who would you be without this? I was like, so much freer, so much braver, bring it on, It was so good, so good, so good. Oh, I'm so glad we were able to do this, Sherri, and give everyone a taste of this beautiful medicine that you carry. I just want to direct everybody to divineloveinstitute.com. So that is Sherri's website. And that is where you can get her 7-step sparkle system. And of course, if you experienced what she just led us through, you can already imagine. I think I'm like going to get off this call and get it right away, because I can imagine how powerful that will be. And I want it now. So thank you so much. So the link is below, everybody, to Sherri's 7-step sparkle system.
And actually, Emilia, it is the 7-step sparkle system is within my book, which is a free download on my website.
Okay. Okay. The
book.
Thing,
and the other thing that I would like to give you that's also on the website is the Diamond Power meditation.
Yes.
That will help you stay connected to that power. So.
Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you so much. Diamond Power meditation. So everybody look below for Sherri's gift, the Diamond Power meditation, and then her book, which she's also offering to us, which was amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're
so
welcome.
Beautiful to have you. So beautiful to meet you. So grateful to have your beautiful light and wisdom and guidance on the call. And thank you so much, Sherri, for coming here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Emilia. It has been such a gift and such a pleasure to be with you all. And, the last thing I would like to say is just understanding that relying on your own understanding can often weigh you down, and we stay stuck there. And so trust in divine love, trust in God, because he will make your path straight. He really will. Divine love will make your path straight, as you just experienced. Thank you for that opportunity. And I wish all of you clear, clean hearts so that you can have a life that you absolutely love and have all the sacred partnerships that you dream of and are worthy of. Thank you for this.
Amen. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.